Doodly doodly do. And hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you with my friend Ari Applewood. Everyone say hello, Dashi. And you are drinking On the Rocks. Is that tequila? You're shaking so
I wasn't expecting the hello to Dashi.
How do you give injections? Like, how do you take blood?
Well, one, I don't take blood. That is someone else's job. So, but injections, my hands are still.
Okay, yeah, because I've had you stitch me up a couple times for random reasons, and you were fine with that.
Well, yeah, that's different.
Oh, okay. Not stitching someone up is fine. That's lacerated, but saying hi to 4 people is not okay. Okay, so for those of you that do not know, we had met in like May of 2020. My friend Kara had she visited the VA. So she used to work at the Veterans Hospital in Northport, right?
Yeah.
And okay, so typically what happens when people get like admitted to, well, you're in like the psych ward, right? You were in like crazy people.
Not just any part of a hospital, the psych ward.
So how do people get admitted there? How do people go and what has to happen in order for them? And all of them were veterans, right? Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah. Well, it depends. There's a couple different ways you can get admitted into a psych ward. You could walk in and say, hey, I need to be admitted. You can come in and show signs of needing help to the point where 2 doctors say, hey, you need to be admitted. We're admitting you. And you can hold them for 72 hours. But you can't hold people like indefinitely. You can only be held for 72 hours unless your doctors say otherwise.
Okay, so what happens if someone like tries to make a break for it, like you jump out a window? Are you on like the third? You guys are on like the 3rd floor, right?
Yeah, you can't jump out of our windows.
Gotcha.
They don't open. They're bulletproof.
Oh, awesome.
They have bars in them. Like you can't jump out of those windows.
So the reason I asked is I was very worried about my friend Kara that she had called me from, I don't even know why I answered the phone call, because it was from a, whatever phone number that you guys let the patients use. She had told me that she was in her car in the morning. She just wanted to talk to someone. I don't know why she couldn't heck and talk to me, but anyway, that's besides the point. She goes and she has a hard time talking to people. So she had whiskey in the back of her car.
Can we just say that she's okay with us talking about this?
Yeah, no,
because this is like a huge HIPAA violation.
Oh yeah, no, I make fun of her about it all the time. She totally hits me for it, but no, it's fine. She's good. We're
okay, because patient confidentiality.
Yeah, no, I made her agree to. When I write a bunch of my stories on Facebook, which you may or may not have been a part of a couple of them, she gave me that thing. So it was. She wanted to wind up talking to like a mental health professional, and she has trouble talking to people. So she was drinking like whiskey just to like, loosey goosey. And I guess what happened is after a couple of swigs of the whiskey, she goes into like the mental health, and they ask her when the last time she had a drink was. And she said, like, I don't know, like 10 minutes ago. And they're like, what? It's like 9 a.m. What are you doing? And I don't know why they were so surprised. It's a veterans thing. Like, we drink all the time.
That shows signs of alcohol dependency, that you need to drink to talk to people.
I feel like that meme where it's like, the little bear that has his eyes this way, going that way.
Yeah.
That is the AF. So you have oh yeah, what about us? We're drinking and we're talking to people.
It's 4:00 in the afternoon.
Not 9 a.m. Okay, fair point.
And we're just doing this as friends.
That's true.
This is not anything important.
So she goes and she says that they can't treat her while she was tipsy, so she had to go to like the ER to like sober up. I don't know what they would have to do. So they did whatever. Like normally when you go to the VA, take your clothes, you get a gown, you do whatever. And then she mentions that she had to go to their facility, they had someone that she could talk to like up on like whatever floor. And then she said that she had asked like a couple of times, like, hey, if I go up there, I can like leave, right? And apparently, like every single person that she asked had said yes. And I was worried about it because she's a very confrontational, blunt, brute, punch and shoot first and ask questions later. So when she called me, I was like, oh my God, she's gonna try to break out. She's gonna try to like punch the glass. I didn't know that it was bulletproof. Maybe she asked those questions. Um, when you were working there, how long would veterans typically stay there, and what were the reasons why those people were there usually?
It depends. You have people there who are there for 72 hours and they sign out because they don't want to be there. You have people there who are there for like a week, maybe 2 weeks. I had someone there for 4 months. People who really want to work on their depression, and because medication takes time to work with your body. You don't just take pills and it works instantly. Medication takes like 3 to 4 to 5 weeks to work properly for depression and anxiety.
Oh, well.
So if they really wanted to stay there and get treated, they stayed for months.
Oh my God. Who pays for that?
It depends, but usually the VA and their insurance and the military does.
Oh wow. So they just eat the cost of all those veterans go. So you could potentially like if like you're down on your luck, like you lose
And
your
he was still
job.
active too, so I'm assuming, what is that, TRICARE?
Yeah, wait, some people do that while they're still active?
Yeah.
What they definitely don't get paid while they're there, do they?
I don't know. He was a kid and he was, I guess, what are they, like recruiters? The ones that sit and get you like signed up for the Marines?
Yeah. So the guy was a recruiter
Yeah, which
for the
is
Marines.
apparently a very high stress job. The poor kid didn't want to go back and he was there for months.
I wonder if he got paid throughout that. Kara was a veteran at this point. She was out.
Yeah.
This is like 2020. Oh yeah, so this was 2020. How'd you guys do like did you see a lot of like influx of people because of the pandemic?
Well, again, I only worked on the psych floor, but I know they were having a hard time on other floors, not as hard as other hospitals.
Yeah.
Because we don't do like high triage cases. We send out for high triage cases. So
Yeah. So I mean, I guess if a lot of them are out already, how many fights are there usually like between people, and are there fights with the staff as well?
Yes. Yeah, it depends on the group you have. Sometimes the group's mad chill.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got that one person who stirs everything up and like wants to fight. So yeah, we could have a fight like every other day, or we could go weeks without having one. It really depends on the group you got.
Oh, wow. I feel like she would have been pumped for that. So when I went to visit her, and that's when I met you, you guys or she was watching one of the SpaceX launches.
Yeah.
SpaceX had like launched like their Falcon 9 or whatever. What is the most memorable day or event that had happened for you inside the VA?
I honestly can't tell you because it's not the TV or anything like that I
Yeah.
pay attention to when I'm working.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not like I'm sitting there hanging out, even though to some people it seems like that. You really are like working the room, you're watching for safety. So even though you're sitting in a TV room watching TV, it might not seem that way to other people.
Gotcha. And so I'm thinking like I know there was a TV there, and I don't.
Yeah, we
I
had
don't really
2-day rooms. There was one day room has a large TV. The other day room had a smaller TV. That way you could like have 2 different groups watching different TVs at the same time.
Okay. Like outside of TV, what's their other like form of entertainment? I know she had like a notebook which she wound up writing Harry Potter erotica fan fiction in. But what outside of that, what else do people like do?
They had groups come in. It's hard during COVID because they shut a lot of things down.
Yeah.
I know that they have a lot more groups running right now. And they have a lot more outside time now. But with COVID, like you couldn't go outside, you couldn't do much with the veterans. By the time I left, there were art groups running, painting and puzzles and bingo and karaoke and Wii bowling and stuff like that.
Oh, Wii bowling's fun as fuck. Excuse
Yeah.
my language, everyone. I mean, this is going to be a very NSFW podcast anyway. So you,
yeah, I feel like fuck is okay.
Yeah, when we had met, and I was dating another one of your coworkers, Jackie. We had hung out a couple of times, and you had made the mention of having at the time appointments with people who get you to where you want to go. How did those start? How did those happen to go and
I
come
don't
about?
understand your question, Randy.
Okay, I was trying to beat around the bush a little bit.
Maybe
you said,
just
like
throw
you'd
it out
say
there.
like, "Hey, I came from a dick appointment," and and we were just like, "Oh, okay." And then every now and then, be like, "All right, guys, I gotta head out. I gotta go to a dick appointment." How does that start? What does a typical conversation go like for you to do that?
Just in general?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't message first. So people
Okay.
message me first, and I don't know, like they're people. I talk to them. They're human. It's not like I'm just like, hey, want to bang? Like, no. Like they're people I know.
So a lot of times hanging out, I remember one time it was, forget when it was. I think it was in 2020. Um, it was like raining out, so we couldn't really go out and like do anything. So we were just like sitting around, and I was watching videos on YouTube on like the TV, and I was just watching like an old school like music video. I think it was like Julie Garland, like The Man That Got Away. And I was like sitting there, and I was like drinking my whiskey, and you said that, Brandy, you're such a cliche right now. I guess because of like, so could you elaborate on that a little bit? Was it the
No,
veteran?
because I don't remember that at all.
Really? You mentioned something about like a veteran watching old
Yeah,
things
just
and
drinking, watching
yeah.
old music videos and just being sad. Like, you're very, very cliche.
Okay, so I guess you remember it a little bit in context. With your experiences, what are the one things that veterans that they have the most issues with? Alcohol? Is it PTSD? Is it a combination of both?
So on the unit I was on, it was mostly drug dependence, recovery, and PTSD. The other unit would more deal with depression and anxiety and personality disorders. Our unit was always full.
Oh, well.
So from what I could tell, it was mostly substance abuse and PTSD that brought people into my unit. But
How many
again,
success stories did you have?
it's hard to say because for a lot of the veterans, we send them off to programs.
Mhm.
So once they spend a week or two with us, they talk to a counselor, they get approval from their insurance to go off to a 90-day program for sobriety. And then from there, they have to do like a group house kind of thing, like a Phoenix house kind of thing, and live in a halfway house to kind of get back into society from there. So I don't see any of that.
Okay, so you don't
All
have
I
any
see is
experience
the
like,
acute situation.
so
So
you
it's
don't
hard for me
experience
to
the
see
halfway
my success
houses.
stories.
Gotcha. How many repeat customers did you guys have?
A lot.
Okay, so clearly that a lot of the people that went to the recoveries and halfway houses, and they do end up back with you. So they didn't work for a lot of people.
For a lot.
I forget what it's called. There's there's a drug that basically can get you off heroin like very, very easily. Like little to no side effects, but it's illegal. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I don't remember what it's called.
In your opinion, as someone that's had experience in this field, why is that drug still illegal?
In my opinion, I have no comment because I don't know any side effects. I don't even know the name of the medication,
No.
so I can't really comment. I'm assuming it has something to do with side effects and what's it called? Dependency.
Do you think
But
there could be any, and I know like sometimes my conspiracy mind goes and sometimes connects dots that aren't there, but do you think that there could be any uh, corruption in which people are saying, oh, well, we have X amount of programs and drugs that are already used to treat heroin addiction. And if this thing that actually works at a very high percentage rate is brought legally, then billions or tens of billions of dollars can be lost.
I think that's getting into a lot of pharmaceutical company conspiracy.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing as cancer medication. Whereas you could have medication that could cure cancer, but no one wants to fund it because X, Y, and Z cost so much money and make so much money. Might not work as well, but still make all the money. So why fund the cancer medication that would cure cancer,
Yeah.
So I think it falls into almost the same category as that. And I don't follow pharmaceutical conspiracies, so I don't have a lot to say on that.
Every now and then, I'll say like maybe 1 or 2 nights, maybe 3 nights a month. I'll be on like Reddit, like r/conspiracy theories, and I'll just scroll through and I'll be like, oh, this is so good. This makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So as Crazy Dan says, Big Pharma be stopping it, which I can agree to.
Okay, yeah. I would lean that way, but I honestly can't have an opinion or anything to say on it because I don't really know much about it. And that would
Do
be
you
wrong.
have when you were there, did you have anyone try to kill themselves, or did you have any people that were successful in trying to do so?
We had no one successful.
Okay. Good.
On my shifts, I had no one try. I know there were other shifts where someone pulled a straight razor out from the sole of their shoe because you're allowed to have your own shoes, just no shoelaces. So they had like a razor underneath the sole of their shoe that they pulled out, but they were stopped.
And where did they try to cut? Well, you said they were stopped, but
yeah.
did they have like a plan? Like was the wrist, neck?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. So there's okay.
Yeah.
We'll do get into like the humanity part. What was like the saddest aspect that you saw there, or like the saddest scenario for you?
I left that job. Like I don't work at the VA anymore.
Yeah.
That job broke my heart.
In what ways?
I think I could work at a normal psych facility, but working at a veteran psych facility and just hearing stories about what you go through in the military and when you're deployed and seeing how you come out through the other end is just devastating to watch. So you asked me about repeat people before.
Yeah.
So we had someone active who would keep coming in, and you could see him deteriorate every single time that kid came in. You could see how worse that kid was getting every time he came in. And it would just break your heart. That kid was 23 years old. Like, or you have people who you can't even close the door without them flashing back to Vietnam. You can't have them in the dark anymore because they're flashing back to something.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. And yeah, that job just broke my heart.
So is that why you left?
Yes.
Damn.
In a few reasons, but yes.
Damn. So what was something that you learned from that the most? Is it the heartbreaking stuff? And then like, hey, the people that, or the amount of time that you can work in a field like this, like it has a shelf life? Or was it something that someone taught you? Or was it just
I
after the
think
fact?
the biggest thing is that regardless of politics, it is to support your troops, no matter what. And also I learned, unfortunately, that you can't touch people. If you don't know people, you can't touch people, because you
So
don't
like
know
no
how they're
hugs.
going to react. And you don't know what people are going through, because you could see someone who's fine and laughing, and then at night they're screaming.
So like no hugs, no pats on the back of reassurance.
Right, like never really greet someone with a hug,
Yeah.
because you might think it's like warm and welcoming, but that other person might not
Yeah.
like the touch, you know?
So we do have a question about your OnlyFans. The link is down below to Ari's OnlyFans. And we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, link is down below if you want to go and see. No, Carlos Castro, Mr. CRPT is not tripping. It is it is fact. She is active. So when we're going back before about date appointments, when did you do you consider yourself? I mean, I get can I say what's on your OnlyFans like at the top?
Oh,
Or it's
yeah,
not even
yeah,
it's on your Twitter.
yeah.
Just say nurse by day, slut by night, sometimes in the day. So you have, instead of saying like, oh no, I don't really believe in slut or prudes, people just are what they are, you fully embrace it and you're just like, no, I'm a slut all day. What by definition, what do you think makes you the slut? And what do you think and why do you choose to embrace it as opposed to going a different way about it?
Um, I honestly use the word slut because it makes men more aroused. That's why I use the word. I am not, I mean, I am, I guess, more sexually active than I used to be. I'm more sexually active than my friends, so I would guess I fit the definition of a slut, I guess. Um, that word can be used negatively, but I choose to use it more positively. Um, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of sex. Like, men have a lot of sex, women have a lot of sex. It's whatever. Um, I just choose to enjoy it, do it a lot, and make money for it.
So you have the you ever see Clerks too?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so it's about these guys that own like or they work at like a convenience store. Sometimes they work at like a fast food place, and this one guy says, a kind of a racist word, porch, and then animal. I don't want to say it, and then the other dude's like, you can't say that. It's like, oh no, my grandma used to call me this all the time, like like whatever. And he says, but you still can't say that word. He's like, well, I'm taking it back. So essentially, what you're doing is you're taking that word slut and you're taking it back, using it for something positive.
Yeah, I guess in a way, it's feminism.
Yeah. So you said you
But
had you're
feminism
more.
is a very political word, so I try to stay away from that word. But
So you say you have more sex now than you did when you were younger, but like you're
yeah.
not old. You're in your late 20s. You mean
I turned 30 in September. Thank you.
you did turn 30 already?
No, in
Oh,
September.
you do. Okay, so yeah, you turned 30 in September. Right now you're in your late 20s. You say you have more sex now than you were in like your mid or early 20s or when you were a
Yeah,
teen.
definitely. When I was in my early 20s, I had more.
Okay, so when did you start doing the do?
Um, I was. I lost
Say
my. I can't.
say.
No, it's not that I don't want to say it. It's that I can't remember. Um,
Oh, you don't. So you don't remember your first? What were you like? Really drunk, or were you like in a
It's
drug?
just over. It's been like 10 years, and I think I was
Oh,
18,
oh, okay, all right. That's
and it was like my boss's boss at like a supermarket job.
winning. That's great. So, oh yeah, I think I remember. I think we had a mutual friend that we used to know because it used to work there. Yeah. Um, I thought you were about to say something much younger. I was like, oh, same. Okay, so it wasn't like you had started super young and then maybe mentally went one way because of that. You didn't start until you're already pretty much an adult for like 18, right?
Yeah.
So and once you had found that and you had decided, well, you said you didn't have as much when you were younger. Like it was only okay. When did the super arousal start to go and start having a lot?
Probably in my mid 20s, like 26, 25, 26. Yes,
Uh,
because when you get older, you just get more confident naturally.
true, true.
Typically. I mean, not everyone gets that, but uh yeah.
So when you had when did you start the OnlyFans?
I started the OnlyFans like a month and a half ago.
Oh, so it was recent.
Yeah.
Okay. When you had a so why didn't you do it when you first started just really liking sex? 3-4 years ago.
It never really occurred to me.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So I know
Someone actually suggested it to me to start one, and I was like, okay.
is that easy to
Yeah,
start?
why not?
So where you go, like where do you typically go and advertise for it?
I'm on FetLife, so I actually advertise through there on a couple forums, and then I have an advertisement for my Snapchat on a couple forums, and I advertise on my Snapchat for it as well.
Cool. And what type of content do you typically do? Like is it like a
Solo.
lot of the what?
It's a lot of solo stuff.
Okay, so is there any do you cater to any people that have special kinks, or are there kinks that are like completely off limit? There's a lot there. This goes super deep. Um,
I don't do like I make custom videos for people. I
mhm.
make generic videos to post daily. But I'll also do custom videos. I won't do feet and I won't do anything taboo, but that's about it.
Okay, so custom videos, which is for the most part, I think relatively normal because
Yeah.
you have with I mean, obviously not like you said, you don't do feet. Why not feet?
Um I think it's a confidence thing. I don't like my feet, so
Okay. Even if people are willing to pay for it.
it depends, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get there eventually.
So what would you describe as one of the kinkiest things that you've done? Obviously, mostly in a solo video, but for someone that's requested.
Um I haven't done anything like really kinky yet. I guess it was just like a double penetration video that they wanted,
Mhm.
and that was the most kinky that I got, if that's even kinky at all.
Okay, so you have a fairly vanilla audience, unless you had a couple of requests that were like so out there. You're like, nah, I'm not doing it. Did you
I
have any of those?
haven't had any type of like really bad request. Not bad, but like intense request, I guess we could call it.
Okay.
Um, just a lot of guys obsessed with anal, but they don't tip. So if you don't tip, then you're not going to get a custom vid. That's just not how it works.
How much do you have to tip in order to get a custom video?
Right now it's 15.
And how long is the video?
Depends. Usually 15 will get you up to 3 minutes.
Okay. So if you have trying to think, is there, so you said that there's a lot of, you would do like the anal stuff if they tip. Is there, but do you have any issues or what's that called? Any issues against uh doing like any type of gagging stuff or any like thing where you're made to feel like you're nothing. I forget what that's called. Where it's like
That's degradation.
yeah, degradation. You have any of those?
No, I have no problem with that.
So where is the line drawn? for you?
I don't do like blood piss shit. I don't do taboo stuff like age play. I don't do like don't come at me with knives.
Hmm.
Like keep that shit away from me. Again, that comes back to the blood.
Oh, so you don't like blood?
I don't want to bleed during sex, no.
Okay, gotcha. I was just saying because you're in the medical field, and especially because you have stitched me up while I was bleeding fairly profusely. You seem okay with it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with blood.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'd like to
Okay.
keep mine inside.
I dated a girl once that we did some knife play. Actually, I had two girls, but one was just like a one night thing. The other one, it was like a fairly regular thing. What that one girl, I won't say her name, but she was doing knife play with a buddy of mine, and she nicked an artery on his thigh.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah, it got super intense, and he was like bleeding. I remember being on Skype with him. He like locked himself in the bathroom. He's like, she's gone crazy, and she's like pounding at the door, like, let me see it, because like he eventually it was fine. She got bells around it. She burned it so that it wouldn't bleed anymore. Because she had to cauterize it. Your eye was so wide.
She didn't
Um,
have to cauterize it, you know. You could have just held pressure and called 911 and had someone sterilely do it.
I think she was also on ketamine, so I don't think she thought of it. I think
Okay,
she's just
fair.
like.
That's fair.
So have you ever experienced sex on drugs, whether it's ketamine or LSD or
Yeah, I
mushroom?
had sex on LSD. That
How was
was
that?
fun. I ended up crying.
Oh, so not fun.
Yeah. Just sobbing for no reason. It was really awkward. We had to
Like
stop.
because of like the beauty of it, or because
No, just because I was crying. I don't know.
you got a band, you're awesome. We listen, overcome, we win favor with our Lord. Wait, so where does uh where does religion come into place for you? Is it something that kind of indifferent
Um,
about?
I go to church every week,
Oh, okay.
every single week. I haven't been going recently. I Zoom on my church now
Mhm.
because I have a restricted license and can only drive to work because I decided it wasn't necessary to pay for my car insurance
I
for a
love you
couple
so
months.
much.
And apparently it is necessary to pay for your car insurance for a couple months. So,
Ugh. So,
yeah.
if you have you had any wannabe sugar daddies?
Um, I don't trust people who text me, "Hey, let me be your sugar daddy. I'll send you $3,000 right now." I don't
You don't
trust
let
people.
them?
I don't trust those people
Why not?
because first of all, that is not how you start a sugar baby agreement.
Okay.
Second of all, ew.
Wait, what's ew about getting sent?
Well, you're just messaging me randomly. You don't know me. You don't know me at all, and you want to give me $3,000? Like,
There's a difference between
that's
men and
fake.
women.
He's clearly trying to scam you if he messages you that, or she. Out of nowhere, you get a message that says, "Hey, let me be your sugar daddy. I'll give you $3,000 right now."
So you
That's a
block
scam.
them?
Yeah.
Okay. So you haven't. So how would you go and start a sugar daddy, sugar baby agreement? Like, what is the appropriate way? In case I
So
think I told you, I have a lot of crypto now, and when that goes up, I'm not saying I would do this, but how would you do it? How would you go
okay.
and please don't face palm?
So you message someone and you
Yeah.
say like, "Hey, how are you?" You're nice to them, you talk to them, you have a conversation with them. You start tipping them, you start buying videos for them consistently. Um, and then you say, "Hey, this is kind of what I want to do. Are you up for something like this?" And if they say yes, then you kind of talk about like what your terms are and how you would want to go about it and how she's comfortable about it and what she wants to do. Like, if there are different kinds of relationships too. Like, there are people who meet in person and have sex in person and get money. There are people who never meet on in person and only do it online and video chat. There are people who only get things sent to them. There are people who only get money sent to them. So you really gotta talk to the girl, make her feel comfortable. Don't creep her out. Don't send her random pictures of your dick. Like,
You mean girls don't like that? So I guess Skinny Pete had tried to be a sugar daddy, and I guess when he messaged, she blocked him. So okay, so how much do they have to tip in general before you would even entertain the idea of them being? Because if they're just tipping, like, say if they buy 5 videos, said it's $15 a video, it's only $75. Like, how do you know that they really have the capability of being a sugar daddy if they're only tipping so much?
well, I have one right now that is buying every video I put out. So you can kind of tell, like, he's kind of like trying to get in there.
Yeah.
He requests custom videos. He tells me I'm beautiful all the time, stuff like
Oh, that's
that.
adorable.
So I guess I have one person who might ask, but
So these is any of this romantic for you? Like, is any of
no,
this the so it's so you don't feel any sense of romance, even when somebody calls you beautiful and they buy something from you and they clearly appreciate not only the work that you're doing, but your body as well.
it's not romantic. I appreciate it. I think it's sweet as hell. Um, but for me, it's not romance. It's a business transaction, and that's how it should be for you too. Uh, you're buying my porn. You're not buying me. You're buying my porn. I have my own life. You're not buying part of my life. You're buying my porn.
So you have so you try to keep it a little more cold and calculating. Is it because
Well, I talk. You can message me. We can talk anytime.
Mhm.
So it's not like I'm cold about it, but we're never gonna meet in person. Don't even ask me because I'll block you.
so you so if you have somebody that like this person that is clearly a financial supporter, buying everything you do, gets custom videos, and then let's say that I don't know how often this person talks to you, but let's say every week, give or take. If they go and say like, "Hey, I'll be in this town on this day. Do you want to meet up?" You'll just
That's
automatically hit the block
different.
button. Oh,
That's
okay.
different because I have a written out agreement with him if he is coming and he's asking me. You know, he's not saying, "Hey, sweet mommy, I'm gonna be in your neighborhood tonight. Fuck me. I'll pay you $200." That's rude as hell. We've never spoken before.
Yeah, that's also
Rude as
really
hell.
cheap.
Someone messaged me that. Like, no, I'm not gonna
Okay.
meet you.
Oh, so somebody messaged you that didn't have a relationship with you before.
Yeah,
Oh, all right, yeah.
like no,
Um,
I'm not gonna meet you.
so how many times does somebody have to message you or pay you before like
Well, it's not like a set number of times. It's more how the conversation is comfortable, how we're both feeling, you
yeah.
know?
So in the if somebody like so this guy that has that agreement with you and says like, "Hey, I'll be here. You want to meet up?" And then let's say you do like you meet for coffee or like Dave and Buster's or just somewhere fun, somewhere, whatever. How would this person how should this person bring it up to you of the form of either I guess prostitution for the night or for the ability to be a sugar daddy to you? What is the
Well,
best way?
unfortunately, I'm not a prostitute. So
Mm,
no matter how many times you ask me if we could sleep together for money, I am not going to do it because that's my limit for my channel.
mm.
Uh I just I'm not like you could offer me $200 for head. I'm not going to give you head for $200. Like, I'm not
Y-
into it.
Yeah, that seems pretty low for the type of yeah. I know.
Like, I like sex, but like that's just
So,
something I'm
so
not into.
the so the actual status of sugar daddy and sugar baby that is, I guess, in a sense, off limits to you.
Yeah, for
So,
meeting in person. Because,
yeah,
like I said, there are people who do it over online. I would do it online.
yeah.
I know people who would have only ever done it online. Um, I said I would do it online, but it's a lot of a personal relationship too. So I actually don't know if I would do it online or not.
Oh, okay. So I feel like we're also talking
I
super low
take that
numbers.
back.
I feel like we're also doing super low numbers here, and you keep saying like $200. Back in 2010, when I was not necessarily in your industry, but dancing, and there was one girl I used to work with that literally got bought a truck. Like this old dude that was a client of hers at the strip club, come in like every week, literally bought her a car. I imagine like a 50,000. It was a Hummer. I'm imagining 30 to $50,000. If we're talking in numbers like that in the five figures, is that a horse of a different color? Where you'd be like, maybe, maybe, or is
You
it still a
saying
no?
if someone bought me a car, would I sleep with them?
If someone were to say like, instead of saying the $200, like the number amount that we've been talking about, someone says like, hey, and if they have that relationship with you, not if they're just being random, because I know you said red flag, but if they had that relationship with you and they said like, hey, listen, we've been talking for a while, I enjoy our conversations, um, take you out on a date, and then if you have like a decent time, or if you're just not even a date, if you go and he suggests like, hey, um, can we have this type of relationship where I buy you relatively whatever you want, and then you let me smash. Is that something that you'd be agreeable to, or is that something that you go and still not a line that you would ever cross, even for the five figure tens of thousands of dollars?
Yeah, I don't think I would do it in person for any kind of amount of money.
Only online, maybe, right?
Yeah. And that's not only just like a personal preference, but it's also a safety issue.
That makes sense too. So I just want to meet up. So be advised, like this is for those of you that missed the beginning of this. We're friends. Like we've known each other for years. So we see
It
each
has
other
been
probably.
years, hasn't it?
Yeah. So this is not a. This is just like kind of how remember kids used to say like for the vine, like this is for the pod. Do you remember that? It's like for the podcast.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember that.
so if you keep a lot of things really kind of people, especially clients that like arm distance, how do you view romance? How do you view uh, human connection? What's like your view and definition on it?
That's really deep. Okay. Um, whew. Do it for the fine. Um, my view of romance is and relationships, I guess. I want to say it's normal, but it's not. Because I have my own mental health issues going on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I don't know how to answer that question, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, so instead of romance, let's make it something a little more familiar with what is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
I was
Don't hurt me no more.
somebody super
um,
chatted for that.
I think that question is even deeper than the other question you asked me.
Oh wow, okay, all right, 0 for 2 here.
What is love? Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Um,
is love, Randy?
I was actually talking about this with a friend the other night, uh, where she, yeah, I guess I said she is now more kind of the opposite of you, not necessarily asexual, but has no desire for any type of sexual relationship, and she's kind of, focused on herself, and she says she still does want and crave love, but feels like it would be next to impossible outside of dating someone like Dexter. I don't know if you've seen that show where they
Yeah.
just, yeah, where he also does not want the sex. And
Dexter is a horrible example, by the way.
well, he was dating Rita because they both didn't want, to do the boom boom. So I feel like in that. Anyway, I think there's obviously different types. there's like the type of love between like sibling love. There's type of love, and I don't mean it in like the porn like what are you doing, stepbrother. I mean like actual like you know I mean like the actual like sibling or familial love. There's like bro love. There's like the type of love like I've said I love you before in that non-romantic way, and just like I don't know, and just spend time with you. Yeah, we have good conversations. Like I love people. People are great. And then you obviously have that romantic love where it's I'm guessing you're talking about the romantic love. Like the
Yeah.
I think that it is I think it's a drug, and it's one of the greatest drugs in the world because it makes you feel like no other, like an undescribable feeling that inculcates your entire body with serotonin, and you just have this kind of like walking on clouds. To not only be in love, but to have someone be in love with you, which validates you on a level that no one else can. It's like it's different than like even the love of like the mother or father that like they kind of have to say it, in a relatively normal relationship. But it's someone that is saying it not out of like any type of obligation, saying because that's the way they generally feel. Um, but I also think that because it's like a drug, it will also make you do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like under the guise of a lot of people get infatuated. Like I imagine you might have had some of this as well, where guys or girls will say or do anything for you because they're infatuated with you, and they do so at their own peril. Because maybe they give you money that they would need or want for other things, but they would give you time, like if they're very stretched for time, but you say like, hey, can we do this? We do this, and they sacrifice their own well-being, their own mental health. Um, so that's kind of my view on it. I told you recently, like last week, that I'd broken up with my girlfriend last year, and with kind of like what goes up, what comes down. That type of heartache that you get, that absence of love, again, like a drug, you have it for so long, then it gets ripped away from you. You have
Yeah.
to go through withdrawal, and I have zero desire to ever feel like that again. So I will probably never get into another relationship. Um, but then it could also be like that Michael Scott meme, where after like a year or two, he's like, "I'm ready to get hurt again." So I don't know. That's kind of my long-winded answer on it. Um,
Okay. That's a better answer than I could have given, so.
I'm also fairly tipsy, so this I had a decent amount of whiskey anyway. So I mentioned you made a face when I said like, "What are you doing, step bro?" Type of porn. What again? What is the what type of what type of porn do you like? And have you is it the type of porn that you watch that you like because it's something that you would never do, or is it something that is like, oh, I've done this and I can relate to it?
I watch double penetration, triple penetration, gangbang. Um, I never know what it's called, but it's like when you strap a vibrator to someone and you just watch them go, and like you don't stop for
I
like
don't
an
know what
hour
that's
or
called
two.
either.
Yeah, I like watching that. And I've never done any of those, but there's something that I would like to do, I guess.
Which one would be most appealing to you? Like the gangbang,
Yeah,
like
probably.
degradation? Yeah, that'd be it. Um,
I don't like watching normal porn. I don't like watching porn with the sound on.
really? No sound?
I guess I'm just so used to it being on mute from when I was growing up watching it on mute.
Just got used to it.
Yeah, I got used to it being quiet. And then when I put it on sound and they're making all those noises and saying those stupid lines in the beginning of it, I'm just like, it's better on mute.
Wow. So there was this so or maybe it's happened to me twice, maybe three times, but definitely at least twice. Where and let me know if this has happened to you, where you're in the middle of blinking, and the girl will like lose their ability to speak and basically become like almost high and like disoriented and just like, oh, like almost like, yeah, like they're high. Has that ever happened to you? And do you know what
No,
that's called? No.
so sad.
Um, apparently it's being called cum drunk. And it's yeah, where you like forget how to speak English and you don't know what's going on.
Sorry.
Or when so you said you limit or not that you limit, when people pay for videos, they're usually 3-minute videos. If somebody asks for like a masturbation video where at the end you climax, do you have to charge them extra because maybe you couldn't get there in 3 minutes? Or do you just be like, okay, well, I'll start off camera and then I'll finish that last 3 minutes on camera?
So I do the whole video and then
Mhm.
I just cut it to the last 3 minutes.
Okay. And if somebody wanted to see like the whole video, how
That would be
long would you have?
longer, depending on how long it is how long the tip would be.
How long would it have to take you usually? Would it be double the video, triple the video?
Depends on the day.
Okay, so it's not so. To preface this, there's a girl that, well, I'll preface with the easy one first. There's a girl that I dated that she would orgasm extraordinarily easily. Like sometimes I wouldn't even have to touch her and just go. But there's another girl I've been with that it took every ounce of energy I had to just like make her come once, and I was just done by the end of it. It was like sweating. I was like, okay, this is way too much effort. Uh, on a scale of 1 being like too much effort, or 10 being like don't even have touch, how easy are you to achieve that climax?
Oh, when I do it myself?
Sure. Yeah, yourself versus someone else.
Okay, when I do it myself, super easy. When someone else does it, they have no idea what they're doing.
So I feel like now, especially like the last like 5 or 7 years, we're like there's how-to videos, and I know like again everyone was different, and it's all, but it's like how do people not know that? Like what is your best educational advice for men that maybe miss the spot?
Sorry, repeat that. I was reading comments.
What is your best advice? Is there a specific video that people should go to, an article that guys should read? What is the best advice for guys that maybe have had some trouble pleasuring their partner?
I feel like everyone's heard this already and no one wants to do it, but it's communication. So,
Okay.
if someone asks me, is this good? Am I going to tell them, no, you suck? Absolutely not. I'm terrible at communication. I'm going to tell you, you're doing great.
Oh no! So you're essentially like you're going against yourself at that point. You're just
Yeah, well, I'm working on myself, okay? I just started an OnlyFans. Leave me alone.
it's true. It's true. Okay.
But in an ideal world, you'd be doing something and you'd ask the girl, is this okay? And she'd be like, no, you're not even on my clit. That's like between my leg and my labia. You need to move over. Because that's happened before. I'd be like, no, you're not even on my clit. You're like on my leg. Like, move over. So like every girl is different. For me, I can't come unless like you're in me and you're playing with my clit. Like it'll never happen.
Okay.
You can try as much as you want, it'll never happen.
So one or the you can't come from just penetration. You can't come from just clit stimulation. It's got to be both.
Right, unless I have a vibrator.
Mm.
Like I can't do it with my hands.
Okay.
Which a guy would never know, and he would be doomed because he'd be trying with his hands and then he'd be doing sex and then he'd be just trying with his dick. So he'd never know. So you just gotta communication. But then remember that not every girl is going to communicate with you because she's not confident enough to communicate with you. So good luck.
That's fair. Those are comments. Would you like to hang out with my dude Randy? He's a bit, guys, we're friends already. Like we're just
I've known Randy so long.
It's been for several years now. It's not all right, so here's something that when we were all hanging out one day, there was one point where you were just chilling by like on a windowsill, looking out the window, and I like WWE, I like wrestling, so I picked you up and I threw you on the couch, and we all started to like do like a dog pile, and then afterwards, when we were all eating tater tots, you're just like, hey, like like you asked me about it, and I asked why you asked me about it, and you said it was because no guy at that point had ever picked you up. Um, is that, and you're not the only woman that I've actually heard that from. Do you think it was it's like the like pussification of men that just aren't lifting anymore? Do you think men aren't as masculine as they were 20 years ago? What do you think are your reasons why a lot of women don't get picked up anymore?
Well, let me just say that being strong enough to lift someone and being masculine are two different things.
Okay.
You can be masculine and not strong enough to lift me. I'm fat. Like, that's just how it is.
Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, that's kind of now, but years ago when it happened,
I was
we
still
were
overweight.
we were different people. The we'll get to that in a minute. Or we can get it now. So now I know it's Bukaki. So I'm guessing that is something that would be off the table for you, right?
What?
The Bukaki.
Yes.
Okay. I'll do it myself. Is there I've read before that there's 60% of women want to be dominated, and there's only about 40% of the men out there that actually want to
Where did
dominate.
you read this?
I forget where I read it. It was from a a um a notable like a place like that was do you see that in the FetLife arena? Do you see that in the OnlyFans or the other women that you maybe network with? Or is that just a statistic that was maybe taken out of oh, I remember where it was from. It was from another podcast that I was listening to, and it was from this woman who's a sex researcher, Ayala, sex work, OnlyFans. It just yeah, so that's where it was from.
Okay. I guess I don't know.
Well, for you, what is your preference? Do you like to dominate, or do you enjoy being dominated? Or are you neutral and just
I
kind of
don't
whatever?
like to dominate.
Okay.
I can sub if you want, but I don't really care. Like I
From
guess
the
I fit in a submissive category because like I'll do what you want, do whatever you say kind of thing. I learned recently that I'm not into impact play, so I'm not really a masochist.
impact play, like hitting, spanking, and
Yeah. Yeah, I
and
learned that recently. Uh
so up until recently, you were fine with it, or enjoyed it, or
Up until recently it was something I hadn't really like. Spanking your ass when you're having sex is not impact play. Impact play is like with paddles and whips and stuff like that.
nice.
So
Very nice.
I learned that I did not like that recently. Um, so up until that point, it was something I just hadn't discovered yet.
Gotcha. Have you ever done any type of meetups? Like, have you had any like orgies? Was there
Nope.
any type of bukkake meetups? No. Why not?
Internet safety.
So it's more of a safety issue, not necessarily a uh, lack of desire.
Yeah.
So
I tell you what I have done
Mhm.
is a non-sexual meetup with people from FetLife, which was very interesting. And
What y'all talk about?
they call them munches, and you go to like this restaurant, and they have like this area like reserved, and you go and you like talk about your lives and fet life and like parties and stuff. And I guess it was very interesting. They introduced me to like everyone there because I went by myself, surprisingly, and they're just like normal people. This was a long time ago. This was a couple years ago.
Normal people that just happen to have a kink side.
Yeah. And most of them were like 50 years old. I think I was one of the youngest people there.
What was the ratio of men to women?
More men. Definitely more men.
Like 70-30? Like 60-40?
Like 80-20.
Damn. Oh, so that's you said they were relatively normal, but what was like the background of some of these people? Like, what did they do for a living? Were they? I'm curious. Like, is that something you discussed?
Yeah, they're just normal jobs like electricians, desk jobs. I don't know,
Okay.
general job people things.
There was a this one was from a clinical psychologist that mentioned that one of the top 5 most searched terms for women on porn for fantasy was werewolf, pirate, vampire, surgeon, and billionaire. Out of those 5, yeah, for women porn searches. Out of those 5, do any of them fit you?
I
If
guess
so,
I guess surgeon because he is a human.
the billionaires and pirates aren't the humans.
I guess. Okay. Well, what kind of pirates are kind of gross. They need a shower, so no pirates.
Good point.
Surgeons are cool because I like medical shit. Billionaires, no thank you. So yeah, surgeon.
Okay. And so no werewolf and no vampire.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to humans. Thank
So
you.
you were not a Twilight fan growing up.
I was a Charlie fan. Do you know,
Yeah, he's the
who
dad.
Charlie
I
is,
love
right?
him. He's like the
Yeah.
best character in those movies. So do you like older men?
I like men.
Age doesn't really matter.
It does when you get younger. Like I won't go for someone younger than like 25.
Really? So you
Like
wouldn't
if
be
some
like a
18-year-old came at me, I'd be like, "Go home. Your curfew is up."
so you wouldn't so you wouldn't do like a Cher or like a Madonna that date obviously you can't date someone 30 years younger because you're only 29, but you wouldn't date someone that like a hot 19-year-old?
No, I
No.
wouldn't even have sex with a hot 19-year-old.
And so the limit is actually set 25.
Yeah.
24 is a no-go.
It depends on the 24-year-old, I guess.
Yeah. So if so, at what point do you ask the age? Do you ask like, "Hey, how old are you?"
Almost right away.
Regardless of who they are?
Yeah, I'm old school AOL, so I just like
Age,
type
sex,
in
location?
ASL. Yeah. Someone called me out on it the other day. He's like, "What is this AIM?" And I was like,
You
"Yeah, it is. What's your ASL?"
you are showing your age with that one, Missy. Yeah, so for those that don't know, that's age, sex, location. That's I don't that's wild. Um, where are some of the places that you've met people off of? I know you don't do it off OnlyFans, but have you met them off of like Reddit, Discord, Facebook, Twitter?
um, Never off Discord, never off Reddit, never off Twitter. Um, Only dating apps when I go on them.
What dating app do you think suits you best?
Bumble.
Oh, because the women get to message first, right?
It's
Yeah,
nice.
that makes sense. I've actually read that in for Bumble, there are actually 80 there out of the amount of people on there is 80% of men, only 20% of women. But what the algorithms do is they take the top 20% of men and they show those men to all the women. So it keeps the the women interested, and then like the bottom 80% of men don't ever get to get matched with anyone. So it's hysterical. So yeah, I thought that was funny. Have you ever had this happened to me like last year or 2 years ago? Someone tried to leak my lewds. They weren't nudes, but they were like fairly close. Has anyone ever tried to blackmail you and say like, "Hey, got your OnlyFans? I got a bunch of nude videos of you," and did they ever try to blackmail you with it?
Yeah, actually, I was on a couple dating apps and I was dating someone, and someone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna email the guy you're dating. He's gonna have all your stuff," and I was like, "Okay." So I told the guy I was dating immediately. I was like, "Hey, someone's gonna send you these weird messages from an app that I've never been on." And he was like, "Okay." And can't blackmail me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Dude, next time tell me and I'll just go whoop some ass. I'll just go like, always love an excuse to do that.
Okay, well, I was on Ashley Madison, which was like my first big mistake. So
yeah, so I didn't know that was for couples that want to cheat. I remember getting like, I think it was like an email or something. I was like 18 and it's like, try this new dating app. It's like Ashley Madison. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I didn't know it was for couples that wanted to cheat. And then I found out. I was like, oh, okay, this is this was strange, very very weird. Young Chavez was very quite naive to the online aspect of things. When do you think that? Well, I know you say you were watching porn growing up, but when do you think like innocence was destroyed for you?
um even when I was having sex, like when I was young, I wouldn't say the word penis. Like I was very like quiet.
Mhm.
Uh so it's hard to say. Probably sometime in my early 20s. I don't know, probably when I started going to bars. I didn't go to a bar until I was 22. So
Gotcha. Okay, so you're a little bit of a late bloomer as far as
a
that's concerned.
little.
So going as far as innocence, there's a meme I saw where it happened to be I know it's from Frozen. I don't remember what scene exactly. Anna's like, ah, and then Elsa's like, oh. And the meme with the caption was like two different reactions to like a big dick. What is I've had this conversation with my friend Sarah before. What is the biggest one you've ever taken, and what is like a good size for you that you like? Because I know
Um,
some women will say different sizes.
I prefer thicker.
Mhm.
Length doesn't really matter. Size doesn't really matter because you can have a giant, like I'm rolling my eyes because everyone says this, but it's true. You can have a giant dick and not know how to use it. But also you can have a giant dick and just know how to use it and it's amazing. So the biggest one I've had was probably a thick 9 inches.
God damn. And so was that still more pleasurable than hurtful, or was that like
Yeah, it
teetering on
was
the?
more pleasurable than hurtful.
So you probably could have gone maybe like an inch bigger.
Probably.
You-
Maybe
I
not
would,
longer, but it probably could have been thicker.
yeah. And that so big nine. Geez. Um, and how many times did you happen to have sex with that person?
That was actually one of my coworkers when I was working at the VA.
I think I remember you telling me about this. Big black dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, well, I won't say in case there's no way he would ever watch this, right?
We're just not going to say his name.
I wouldn't say his name, but did he ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember this guy. Remember you telling me about him? I was like, yeah. I was. Oh, that's hysterical. How many times did that happen to? Did you happen to do that?
Lost count.
Okay, and why did that stop?
I quit.
Oh, you never kept in touch with them afterwards,
I don't keep in touch with people from old jobs.
even if they have
New
9 inch.
job, new me.
So even if they have thick 9 inch schlongs, you don't that's not a reason to keep in touch with someone.
No, I don't grow attachments.
Well, I'm not saying that you get attached emotionally, but I don't know. Like, there's nothing wrong with consistent boom boom, especially if
Well,
it's good.
he was getting attached, which was the problem.
Oh, okay. I understand that.
He actually called me a couple weeks ago, so I had to block whatever number he called me from because I've blocked him on every social media platform known to man.
Wait, so why now? I mean, clearly he's not still hung up on you now. If it was years ago, uh, or maybe he was. I don't know. I
Who
don't know
knows?
how. Yeah, who knows? Jeez, that's
People are weird. Again, this is why I'm so conscious with the safety issues of the internet.
that's fair. We'll have to take a look at how I forget who it was. We'll have to take a look at how many people have taken a look at your OnlyFans outside of Mr. CRPT, who was asking for it, which again, link down below for it. You've been doing this for about a month and a half. How long do you see yourself doing this for?
As long as it's fun.
Okay.
Honestly. I think you asked me what would happen if a bunch of people signed on my OnlyFans and I got like all this money and then I just like said I would quit. Because it wouldn't
Yeah.
be fun anymore. It's too much pressure.
But how? Like you're still doing the same thing.
I guess. But then I feel like I do these little like 2-minute videos of me riding my dildo in different lingerie. And that's great for the 40 something followers that I have. Actually, I think it just reached 40 today, which woo.
You're welcome.
But like if all of a sudden I had like 23,000 followers or whatever and all this money and like that would be so much pressure. No one would want to see a dinky little 3-minute video of me riding my dildo. Like then I'd have to find people to fuck and
But like, wait, why wouldn't they? Like, clearly there's like a niche. Like, obviously, yeah, sure, there'd be some people that'd be like, I want something different, and then okay, you can go away, and I'll keep my other 19,000 followers. I feel like that would be, like keep the ones that are paying you and supporting, and people
I'm
that don't
setting up
like.
sorry that I'm looking down. I'm setting up a promotion.
Nice. Uh, are you gonna link that promotion down below so people can join?
No, because I don't know how.
Okay. That's amazing. Send it to me and I'll link it down below.
How do I send that to you?
I think you just create a link for the promotion, right?
I don't know. Hold
Okay.
on. I'm making this promotion. So it's going to
Okay.
be for 10 subscribers
Ooh.
for today.
Just had uncontrollable flailing of my upper extremities.
And a month free trial.
Ooh. This message, this message, this message. Oh, for my information. What? You don't play Pokemon Go, do you?
No.
Okay, never mind.
So that's on my OnlyFans now.
Okay, okay, so it's on the OnlyFans, so people can click your link that's in the description box and they can find that promotion.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
for the first 10 people who subscribe, it's free.
All right, get it, guys. Get it, guys. Link down below. So when people go and they get that, it's free for a month?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I think part of your advertising that you're doing is going on this podcast and wearing a low cut shirt. What is what is your bra size for the people that do not know in the audience?
There are people that know.
Well, I'm just people that don't know in general.
It's a 40D, or a double D, which would make it a 40E.
God damn. How hard is it to find like sexy lingerie in that size?
It's actually not that hard. Because places like Shein and Fashion Nova carry curvy sections. So like for a bra size that big, you have to go up into like the 1X or 2X size lingerie. And it's not that hard to find lingerie for that.
Oh, okay. I maybe this was back in the day. I felt like a lot of the big chested women said like, oh, all the bras that I can find are just like this boring beige and this boring whatever.
Oh my God, I went to Target on Saturday because I had to find a bra. I was going bra shopping. Nothing. They had nothing.
Where do you typically go for bra shopping nowadays that Target no longer carries your size?
I go online.
Oh, okay.
To Adore Me.
What's the site called?
Adore Me.
Adore Me. I don't think I've.
That's because you don't shop for bras, Randy.
It's a good. I mean, is that the only thing that they carry?
Yes, bras and lingerie.
Oh, all right. Never mind. Disregard that. When you go and do this, do you ever have any? I know you said there's no, you don't like blood, piss, or shit, but is there any clients that you have that'll say, "Hey, I don't want any of that stuff, but can you go and wear this underwear for 2 days and then send it to me?" Or like fart in a
I would
jar.
do that. I
You
haven't
would
set
do.
that up yet, but I would do that.
There's a girl I used to know that used to make a killing off of that. Like wear socks for a couple days, send them. Wear underwear for a couple days, send them.
Do you remember
So
that
nobody's
girl that
asking.
was selling her bath water?
Yes. I forget who that was. The girl that went into the VA, she did that as well. She very big chested as well. It's good times. Would you do that?
I don't have a bathtub, but whatever.
I imagine. Oh, here it is. Belle Delphine. That was I was late.
Yeah.
The subscribers got us. They got it.
Thanks, guys.
Planet Vampire says, all I think of when I heard that is terrible back pain. Had a girl from a double D's and they wrecked her. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, back pain is a big thing.
Would you ever
That's why you don't find cute bras either. You find all these like weird supportive bras.
Would you ever get a reduction?
No, because apparently the recovery time is worse than a bra, like a plastic surgery to get a bigger cup.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oof, that's rough. So when we first met, and you were just general. I mean, we were both generally a little bit smaller. How has the progression of boob size, how has that affected your outlook on your own sexuality and your as you go? How's that? Yes, those. How's that affected your outlook on your own sexuality? Are you more confident now that? No.
Okay. I honestly hadn't noticed until I started the OnlyFans, and I was like, huh. I honestly hadn't noticed as I started the OnlyFans, and my old lingerie didn't fit me anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, it's time to buy new ones because my tits are a little bigger. I mean, my boobs are a little bigger. Sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. This whole thing should have been marked as NSFW, probably from the beginning.
Probably.
So with some of the potential newfound wealth that you'll get, or even though you said you'll quit eventually, which I don't understand why you hate money, is there anything that you invest in currently?
Do I invest? Yeah. I tried to invest in it with this app. Okay, I gave them $100 and I clicked all the little buttons and it invested for me. Then the app closed down and they sent me a check for $100.
What was the app?
Stash.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, I tried. That was me trying. I don't understand finance. I don't understand investing. I don't understand any of it. So but I have $100 to spend. So.
Okay. You've heard me talking about VV, right? Like I'm pretty sure I mentioned it to you before.
Probably.
Okay, so it's do you collect like Funko Pops or do you collect like little
I don't collect.
plushies? You don't collect anything? Okay, so maybe the VV app, although an extraordinary investment, might not be for you if you don't collect, because it's not like so I have Dashi.
Yeah.
Dashi's more of a staple in this YouTube channel, but it's a lot of my clients that I had when I was doing all the Pokemon stuff. Their partners, one of the biggest complaints that they had was that their partners would say, "You're done collecting. We have no more room for this stuff because it took up a lot of space in the house." What Vivi does is they have all their stuff like not necessarily online, it's on the blockchain, so it's digital. So they can go and they have all their figurines in like a digital space. Uh, so you have like the first appearance of Superman and Mickey Mouse, Spider-Man all on the blockchain. Really cool. Um, so you say you don't really invest in really anything. Have you? How much do you know about crypto or have heard about it?
I know how to say Bitcoin.
Do you have? Oh, you have the Cash App, right?
I have Cash App, yeah.
So Cash App, you can go and get Bitcoin. There's this, which I think is a fairly decent buy, even though it might go down in the next couple months. Over the course of the next like 2 years, it'll go up a lot. There's this crypto called OMI, OMI, which is I think one of the most undervalued coins, I think, in the world. And putting in like $100 now might get you like $8,000 in 2 years. The year if it does like an ADX. Um, would you like to send me $100 and I could send you or save you some OMI for you?
Sure.
Okay, I will. We will do. All right, guys. We got her to invest in OMI. Uh, I'll keep you posted on that. Big A, face, blue, wide eyes, hand, covering eyes. I guess he liked your booby dance before. Do you have any celebrity crushes?
Killian Murphy.
Oh wait, is that the dude from? Is he one of the? Is he one of the Batman villains? Is he the
He's a
from?
scarecrow in
Yes.
Dark Knight.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's got the show Peaky Blinders
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I want to.
for him. So you are not that big on, I guess, music. You would never go see a show.
No, I'm not into shows.
But so would you ever go to like a Comic-Con to meet like Killian Murphy or to meet like one of your
No,
favorite actors? You said that
don't
was a
care
no. What is something that you might be most passionate about?
So that has ended, and it was Harry Potter, my passion. When I was in high school, we went to Universal when the last movie was coming out. We went to the Leaky Con and
Nice.
we saw the last Harry Potter movie 6 hours before it debuted, or whatever you want to call it.
Epic.
And it was fucking amazing, and I had the best time of my life. Do I still feel that way about Harry Potter? No.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't care about it. Like, the movies are fine. I'll watch them if they're on. I'm not going to reread the books. Like,
So you don't find any revalue in like replaying old video games or rewatching? Oh, I guess you said they're fine if the movies are on, you watch them, but you wouldn't reread the books.
maybe in a couple years.
I think that the new Harry Potter game just came out.
You know what? I do want to play that. I do the Harry Potter
Like
Legacy, or
Hogwarts Legacy, yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, I do want to play that. But you're talking to the girl that either plays The Sims 4 or Star Wars Battlefront 2. Even though I finished it, that's all I play. If
So
I'm
we'll
gonna
get to
play on a system, it's PS4 for the Battlefront, or I'm gonna play on my laptop, it's Sims 4.
that in a second. Actually, right after this, I just want to say that in Hogwarts Legacy, I guess so that they didn't want to be associated with whatever what was misinterpreted by J.K. Rowling. I don't think she's anti-trans at all, but whatever. They happen to put a trans kid in in Hogwarts Legacy,
Okay.
and it 100% backfired because everyone was using the Avada Kedavra curse on the kid and taking videos of it and putting on 4chan. It was the
I'm
most
sorry,
hysterical.
4chan is still a thing?
Oh yeah, it's like one of the greatest things.
Okay.
I love 4chan. That's like where
I
you go
haven't
to
been
do.
on 4chan since I was in high school.
I'm so glad that you at least used to be on there because that's like normally there was not a lot of girls. There was like almost no girls.
Did I advertise that I was a girl? No.
It's true. We did not. We just assumed your gender, mostly because of your heaving breasts that have been kind of halfway out for most of the show.
Well, I mean, when I was on 4chan, I just pretended to be a guy.
Oh, that makes sense. That's right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're talking about the Sims. You had mentioned that you don't kill your Sims. You have your Sims have
No,
goals.
I actually play the Sims game.
Well, you could play, but also kill.
No. They live their lives.
But you could only have up to like 8 Sims at a time, right?
In one household, yes, but you can play multiple households.
Okay, so when you have, let's say the people that you started out with that are now grandparents or older, and then they have kids and their kids have kids, and let's say we have the 8 people, which people do you go and you put towards the new house? Do you make
me and my best friend have a way of playing The Sims where we'll start a family, we'll pick an heir out of the children, and we'll continue playing on with that heir. But you can actually play with all your children because you can have multiple households. So once your base Sims die, you can go on and you can have each household for each child.
And what happens when you stop
crazy.
paying attention to the older Sims or the other Sims?
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by one of your comments that
I think he's like an hour behind when we were talking about the drug deck and which is it's fine. Catch up, man. Catch up.
Yeah.
And then talk about the Sims now. What happens to the other Sims that you can kind of no longer pay attention to because you're focused on the newer younger
they take care
Sims?
of themselves.
And they don't die from old age?
No, they age.
But they don't die from old age.
They can die from old age.
Oh, so do you have like a funeral for them?
No, they actually haven't done that yet.
They haven't died? Or they haven't?
No, they can die and death takes them, but they immediately turn into a headstone. So they don't have funerals in The Sims, which I think would be a really good mod for me to look for to download or for an expansion pack to come out. But I'm really into modding my game.
Cool. Have you ever played World of Warcraft?
No.
Okay. Have you there was reason I asked because there was this one lady like 15 years ago that was really, really into World of Warcraft. And she happened to like die in real life, like car accident, like whatever. And they decided to have a funeral for her in the game. And
I remember this.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to tell it?
No, you can tell it.
Okay, so everyone decided like that used to play with her, like, okay, let's have a funeral for her in the game and let's all be really chill, no weapons, no, we'll just, and they put her by this lake and everyone was lining up to say goodbye to her one by one. And then this one clan came in that did not obey by the rules and they just destroyed them all. And the first person they killed was her.
That's awful.
They gave somebody, it was, oh God, that was one of the funniest videos I've ever seen.
That's terrible. Like, come on.
I mean, I don't know. If something's funny, it's funny. Like if
you're right, but that's not funny. That's mean.
It could be both.
It's kind of funny. It's a little funny.
If like I don't know, like if I die and like me and my friend Ty have this agreement, whichever one of us dies first, like if I die first and he gets the news, he has to say, yes, I outlived him. And if he dies, I have to say, yeah, I outlived them. And I know that most people won't get that, but it's the agreement that we have. And
Okay.
and it's supposed to be, supposed to be funny. But clearly, like I said, yeah, not everyone gets it. So what are your favorite things to do in The Sims? Is it the breeding them and seeing what type of traits go in? Don't give me that look. That's what
I'm
you
sorry, I
do.
hate the word breeding.
Okay, so you don't have a breeding kink.
I do not have a breeding kink.
Okay, copy that. All right, back to The Sims. What was your favorite thing to do in that?
My favorite thing to do is build houses and decorate.
Oh, so you like Animal Crossing too?
Yes.
You would love the VV showroom then. You could take all your collectibles and put them around. Anyway, sorry, it's my last shameless plug. You're already investing. It's fine. Okay, so whenever, like, how long can you do that for without getting bored?
A couple hours. I get bored really quickly.
All right, so all right, yeah, you could do that for a while. And what about Star Wars Battlefront 2? What are your favorite things to do there?
I'm terrible at PS4 games. I have a Nintendo 64 that I'm okay at. I have a PS2 that I'm really good at. I have a PS4 that I'm horrible at, and I have an Xbox that I'm okay at.
What's your favorite game on PS2?
The Code Lyoko game.
Okay, I have not played that.
Have you seen the show?
I have not.
Okay, well then you wouldn't play the game.
Okay.
But because the game's from the show. But that used to be my favorite show growing up, and I love their game. But I also play Kingdom Hearts.
That's cool. Those are good ones.
But I was terrible at Kingdom Hearts. So.
Yeah. I would obviously kick your butt in all of the Nintendo games.
You would.
But the PS2 ones, you might actually win one or two. Like what's the point of the Code Lyoko games? What do you do in those?
It's a puzzle game.
Like Pokemon Puzzle League?
I don't know. I've never played. I'm not a huge Pokemon person.
Okay, so puzzle, like you have to give me another game that is like, is it similar like Lego Star Wars, or the things that you have to go and do?
It's a puzzle game like that. Do you remember that game where you had to shoot the little portals? I think it was called Portal.
Yeah, that was a great one.
It's like that.
Okay, I can get into that. I can see it. I was not good at Portal though. Yeah, I was not good at it.
They don't have portals, but it's a puzzle game. Like you have to figure out the rooms.
Okay. Are you a fan of escape rooms?
No.
But it's a puzzle.
I don't like puzzles.
How do you play that game? How's that like?
I played the game because it was connected to the show.
But you don't like puzzles. You don't kill your Sims. You don't like music enough to go see a show or meet people that you have a crush on. You're a strange one, Ari. You're very, very strange.
I know. I'm a different kind of person.
What would you consider your best quality?
Me?
Hmm?
My ability to listen.
Sure. You did mention once that you don't fight or yell with your significant others.
Nope. I have never been in an argument. And I have never been in an argument, never fought with my significant other.
Is that why you think that relationships that you have are so successful?
Define successful.
Both parties happy?
Well, I mean, every relationship I've had has ended. So... Yeah.
Were you happy before they ended?
Yeah.
What were the main reasons for them ending?
I get bored.
That's awesome. I mean, it's not.
My relationships are weird because of my mental health background. So I have issues with my mental health. So I don't have normal relationships.
We were talking about that the other day. Is that your insurance doesn't fully cover the medications that you're on, correct?
Correct. Well, now it does.
Oh, it does with the new job you have?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're good.
Yeah, thankfully.
What do you think is the answer for people like you that maybe aren't lucky enough to have a job like yours that covers it? What is the
I
best
was
way to
using GoodRx Gold. GoodRx Gold is fucking amazing.
for what?
You
What is it
you
for?
go online, I think it's like $4 or $5, you pay them, you get an RX bin and group number, so you have basically insurance, prescription insurance, and it kicks down all of your medications. So like I had a medication that was $1,600. It kicked it down to $400, which is still a lot, but like it still kicked it down.
Yeah,
And GoodRx in general is just like the saving grace for medications.
Jesus.
Sorry, I got
So
excited about GoodRx. They don't pay
no,
me.
that's fair. Is there? I do have another podcast I have to jump on in about 20 minutes. I have to do some stuff. So we'll wrap it up soon. What are some other things that we haven't talked about that you wanted to go over?
Um, I don't know.
You learning guitar?
No, that's not mine.
Oh, okay. Where how if your OnlyFans doesn't get big enough where you feel the need to quit, how long do you think you would do it for?
As long as I find it fun.
And what type of content would you like to film on it?
I'd like to have other people to film with.
What type of scenarios? Like actual like porns with stories, like it's the pizza man. Oh, how do
No,
I pay you? No. Oh,
no.
like what type of content?
I don't need to do scenes. I literally just different scenarios of getting fucked is fine for me.
What's the so out of all the porns you watch, what's the funniest porn that you've ever seen?
I don't like funny.
Oh,
I
terrible.
have, however, seen a porn where they had little people escaping from jail and they
When you
climbed
say
in this woman's window and they she was going through lettuce on her bed and she started throwing lettuce at them because they were breaking into her house and then they just started having sex on the lettuce. Yeah.
what did you have to click to get to that video?
I don't know how I got there. I don't know.
So like breaking and entering as little people and having sex on let. So
In
um
little jail costumes. Like they had the stripes and a little ball and chain attached to their ankle. Like
so you had the oh my god. Um Jesus. So do you have that like type of fetish for like little people or
personally,
breaking
no.
and entering? I'm trying to think like what got you to click on that video.
I clicked on the video because I saw the description.
What did this description say?
Little people break into home lettuce.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, I clicked on it because I needed to know what that was about.
I understand. My friend Lilith sent me a porn the other day. It was an animated one, and it was funny. It was some like prince of this kingdom had to his kingdom was under attack by all of these witches, and he had to defeat them with his dick. And the way to defeat them was by boinking them and getting them to achieve orgasm before he did. So eventually, he had this like super queen witch that he had to go and defeat. And and again, this was all animated. This was the wildest thing that I've ever seen. I'll send it to you if you want, unless you say you don't like funny. Um,
No, I need to see this.
okay, I'll send it to you when I can. The other one that I've seen was this woman was in her bedroom, like doing like a masturbatory thing, and then an alien gets like beams, badly CGI beamed into the room, like, and it's this dude in like a puffed up alien costume, and then she's like, "Oh, what do you want, Mister Alien?" And he says, "Your ass." And then it cuts to the next scene, and he's blinking her in the ass, and she's like, "Oh, anything for galactic peace." And yeah, so that was a good one too. I don't remember what that was called or even where it was. There's someone just sent it to me. I was like, oh, this is wild.
That's amazing.
So that was good. Um, in the outside of OnlyFans, did you ever upload to like Slutload or X videos or Pornhub and then try to get stuff
Yeah,
going there?
sure. Someone just asked me to make a chatterbait.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I don't even know what it is. I have to look into it, but
It's
what did you walk into?
what's up, Wes? Thank you for being a member. So apparently they give you like they give you something to insert in yourself, and then it gets connected to, I don't know if they do it like by Bluetooth or like Wi-Fi or something, but it gets connected to like a paywall, and you have like 5 different pay options, and the smallest pay option makes it go bzz, bzz, and like the highest pay option makes it go like bzz, like continuously for like 30 seconds or a minute or whatever. So you can just be chilling there, just like watching anime or like cooking food or whatever. And then when someone, puts in a thing, it goes bzz, bzz, and you're like, oh, so, so yeah, uh,
That sounds
that
like
is,
fun.
yeah. You mentioned the other day that you had, you cooked on, like you can go live on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I
Um,
go live every Monday. I'm actually going live in like 3 hours on OnlyFans.
okay. So again, guys, a link down below. And you said there's like a 10 free subscription spot there, like a
Yeah,
month.
yeah. I still have 10 free subscription spots on my OnlyFans too.
Okay, and you'll be going live later. And what are you going to be doing later? Are you be playing video games?
It doesn't let me do anything like that. It's
Ah,
just like a live. I don't know. I have to look into like Twitch or something and maybe stream in a bikini or something, play
yeah.
games for a while. I don't know, do something
So on
because
OnlyFans, you can cook and you like sing, like karaoke and let it go. Like I don't know what the.
it's just like you FaceTiming with a bunch of people at once.
Oh, all right, cool. How many people are on there at once usually?
I actually hit an all-time high at 4 people last Monday. Thank you.
That is great. Hopefully, after we get off here, some of these people go and check you out and do the thing, and you can get a bunch more. So we'll what any last things you want to go over before we end it? Because I got a couple of things I got to bounce.
No, I had a fun time. Thank you so much for asking me.
Yeah, it was good. It was great. It was great running into you. We'll do I'll just talk to you off camera for a little bit. Everyone say goodbye to Dashi. Goodbye, Dashi. And
Bye.
link down below to Ari's OnlyFans. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, meow. I meow at the end of my videos. I can't.